And while no one's denying that he's the shooter, the defense calls it a moment of extreme emotional disturbance and says murder is the wrong charge. They won't even concede to manslaughter. I want to bring in NewsNation investigative producer Allison Weiner. So great to have you here. I know you've been digging into this, Allison. All right, the grand jury indictment was just a few days ago. Stein said not guilty. That was his plea yesterday, but neither sheds any light on the million-dollar question. Why? Why did this happen? What do we know?
Well, we now still don't know exactly why it happened, but I think the defense did give us a little bit of insight, pointing to the fact that a deposition that the sheriff had given just days before the shooting would be part of the defense. Plus, extreme emotional distress. You could see where we're heading with this. I mean, it's going to be an insanity defense of some sort, which means also that the defense is looking at he didn't plan to go in there and shoot the judge, which again begs the question, then why did he? So I have to say that the people I talk to are confused. They know both men. Everybody knows everybody. When I was in Kentucky and I was in Whitesburg where the shooting happened and I went, just sort of all over, they all professed to be in shock. They didn't understand why. But I think that we're beginning to see a little bit of details coming out. Not the stuff that you're seeing on Twitter or on social media, because everybody has an opinion about what the reason was, but some actual information I got from sources while I was there.
Yeah, I imagine you said everybody knows everybody, and it must be so weird for everybody to see their sheriff in jail garb and handcuffed and coming in. What did you find out about the sheriff's family situation right before the shooting and how that might be a factor? Because I know that you found out some good information here. So what do we know?
Well, it's really interesting, but several sources said that the sheriff was kicked out of his home by his wife. They had some sort of a dispute, right. The night before the shooting, and that was the reason that he was in plain clothes, because he wasn't able to have a uniform wherever he was, and that he showed up. When you see him in the judge's chambers, he's not wearing his sheriff's outfit, or sheriff's uniform, I should say. We also know that the sheriff on the day of the shooting had a lunch with the judge. And what gets left out of that story is the fact that there were other people at that lunch. And the sheriff attempted to bring up some subject. The judge stopped him and said, let's talk about it in chambers. Come by after lunch. The sheriff then, we know about his movements, at some point went to see his daughter, and she didn't want to talk to him. So he then drove to the courthouse and he went to see the judge. And we do know from the facts that, from what has been released that we know so far, that he picked up the phone and tried to call his daughter from the judge's chambers. She didn't answer. Then he used the judge's phone and she answered. So we have a situation where the sheriff had, domestic issues at home. Clearly, he was kicked out of his house. There's been some dispute from different sources about when it happened, but my sources are saying it was that night before the actual shooting. And he was in a great deal of distress.
Allison, I want to go back to that lunch. The other people that were there that saw these two men eating a meal together, breaking bread. Did anybody say, was it heated? Was it strained? Did it seem normal?
They said it seemed normal. I asked some of the people that were there. They said it seemed normal. There was no sign of anything. But what we're hearing, about the sheriff's demeanor is a little odd. Not from that lunch, but from the deposition. I mean, that's why the defense is looking that way.
All right. So what about this pending civil case against the sheriff? How is that possibly related? Do we know anything more about that case?
We know a lot, and that's kind of where everything's going.
Okay.
The civil lawsuit, it's a civil rights lawsuit that was filed by a plaintiff who alleged that the sheriff knew or should have known that she was being, sexually assaulted by one of his deputies. And that actually, the lawsuit says that he didn't properly train. He's accused of not properly training that deputy. And the deputy was trading, preferential treatment for sexual favors. And basically, we're talking about women who are in have drug offenses and are trying to get into rehab, not go to jail. And it's all based on one person who is in charge of their ankle bracelet if they get home detention, who can make a phone call and the next minute they're in jail. So it's kind of a terrible situation.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.